Before we get into whether NASCAR 21 Ignition is still bad or not, let's talk about the channel sponsor, Vision. Massive thank you to these guys. If you guys don't know, they hopped on for the month of December, so they're sticking with the channel. So massive thank you to them, guys. If you haven't tried it out yet, check the link in the description below. You will get 10% off your order. If you don't know about Vision, it's an energy drink, but water with this is the actual energy drink, the little capsule. You can change the flavor, so it really is based off of your preference. If it's too strong or not strong enough for you, there's 6 different flavors as well. Orange man, fruit punch, all that stuff. They have different names for each of the flavors, so it's really funny when it comes to that. But yeah, it's seriously really good. I use it every day in my morning routine, even though I'm not going to the gym today because it's a rest day. But massive thank you to them. Check the link in the description below. And now let's get on to whether NASCAR 21 Ignition is better or not. How's it going, guys? Happy Tuesday. Patch 1.3, or as I'm going to call it, patch 4, because we had the day 1 patch, then patch number 2, patch number 3, patch number 4. I'm not going to go by 1.3, so I'm calling it patch number 4 is out. It is released today, this morning on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC and Steam, so it is all out there. Let's talk about it real quick. I want to give a shout out to all the Patreon members for always supporting the channel. You guys are the absolute best. Seriously, you guys are allowing me to do this full time at the moment, so thank you guys so much. If you guys want to support the channel, just watch. That's the best way to do it. If you want to support directly, the Patreon link's in the description. Let's talk about this. So I'll be honest with you guys, like always. We'll go through the patch details. I'll let you know if I'm disappointed, happy, and then we'll get into gameplay. Most likely tomorrow is when we're gonna get into gameplay, and we'll go through everything. It is the holiday season, so in case I don't know, you're a parent and you want to get the game for your kid. I mean, I think kids would enjoy it anyways. They don't really care about all the main details. But if you actually want a good game, like a really good game, I'll let you know if it's worth it or not. So let's talk about something that is... and I don't want to, like, downplay anything that is important to you guys. So that's, like... For example, like I'm not using the wheel because I prefer playing on the game with the controller, but it's very important for a lot of you guys that the wheel and the wheel support specifically is fixed, along with force feedback. So the main thing I've had an issue with the wheel is the force feedback just doesn't feel right. It's just too weak. I mean, it's just not, it's not there. And that's a very difficult thing to fix because every wheel is different. So it's going to be very, very difficult there. But let's talk about what is compatible now. So you have PlayStation and Xbox only. So hardware peripherals added controller vibration to provide feedback on various track surfaces. We're going to talk about this a lot later and tomorrow. So don't overlook this. I have played the game this morning. I was playing for about an hour, and let's just talk about it now because it's very important. On controller, guys, I promise you right now, it literally feels like a different game. It feels completely different. It's exactly what I wanted. So obviously before this patch, you felt like you were driving on ice. You can never feel your car. There was no feedback to your hands whatsoever. That's completely changed. It is completely changed. You can feel the brakes locking up. You can feel when your front tires are sliding. You can feel when your rear tires are sliding. Whether it be on a road course, the curbs provide a ton of vibration. Now, it's so strong to the point that it might be too strong, but I'd much rather have it that way than not having it at all. Whenever the car, whenever you start getting on the throttle and the car steps out a little bit, instantly you get feedback. Instantly, there's vibration to like a slight vibration, letting you know that your rear tires are sliding. So I still think the game is too hard on with no assists. So like if you turn all the assists off, I still think it's very difficult to drive and that you really can't drive it. But if you put the traction on medium or low or whatever, and you can slide around a little bit now, and you can actually save it without the car just without you just wrecking. Like you see how I wreck all the time because I can't feel the car. It is night and day difference. It is the best thing in this patch. The best thing in this patch is the control vibration, and I can confidently say, honestly, 100%, that at road courses and even at short tracks now, when you just drive the car with the right settings, it's way better than NASCAR Heat. Way better than Heat 4, Heat 5. It's the best driving NASCAR game we've had on consoles since NASCAR Inside Line and NASCAR 14. I swear to you, I'm not lying. It's a completely different game. We're going to talk about everything else, but the actual driving, like if you were just going out and making laps, The road courses are terrific because the curbs provide a ton of feedback. You're able to feel when the brakes are locking up or feel when the brakes are sliding. You're able to feel the rear tires now. Everything is very, very good. So massive credit to because I see a lot of hate on this game. Don't hate just to hate, all right? When there actually is something good, give credit. And when there still is stuff that are problems, criticize when needed. I'm telling you, it is incredible, like how much better the vibration and feedback is on the controller. On the wheel, I don't know yet. I still think the force feedback's not good enough. So that is the best thing that was added in this patch. Okay, is right there at the top, added control vibration, and they don't even emphasize just how big it doesn't drive the same. The game's not the same. The game I played last week versus this week is genuinely completely different when driving the car. It's not even close, and it's for the better. Added new controller calibration tools to the pause menu to assist users reporting issues with acceleration. I think they adjusted sensitivity essentially, so like if you want more dead zone in the throttle, you can do that. So it's up to you whether you want to change that or not. I haven't changed it. Added support for the Logitech G29 wheel buttons to navigate front-end menus for PlayStation. And then the Thrustmaster GT wheel to navigate front-end menus, the Thrustmaster T80, and then all these to navigate front-end menus. So essentially you could just navigate the menus with the wheel. And then for Xbox only, again, navigate front-end menus. It doesn't look like anything's been added, though, like actual wheel support. It's just like navigating the front-end menus. So the main issue here was that you had to use like a controller or you had to use your keyboard to navigate the menus, but it looks like they've changed that. So that's just kind of a quality of life thing that should have been in there anyways, but they added it in there. And then a note for Xbox users: there's a known issue that Xbox menu navigation on supported wheels currently has functions that are associated with LB maps to the view button. A little bit odd. Rules, cautions, yellow flags, fixing the issue that was causing cars to be placed in the wrong order after restarts. We'll see if that works tomorrow. I will cause a ton of cautions and see if I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, because that was not right. Like I'd cause a caution and it just, the order would be wrong. So we'll see if that's fixed. Fix an issue that could cause or that could place the player in first place after every caution restart. I never had that problem. The order was just wrong for me all the time. So we'll see how that goes. AI, we're going to talk about the AI a lot at the end after we get to the end of this. So improve the AI's ability to smoothly enter pit road with other cars around. Fixed an issue that will cause the AI to drive into accidents after multiple yellow flags have already been triggered. And fixed an issue that was causing AI drivers to pit after a yellow flag. So this was in the previous patch, but they're saying that they have that fully fixed now, according to this patch. So we'll see how that goes. Again, we'll talk about the AI a lot after I get through all this. Pit stops, fixing the issue that could prevent players from pitting at Daytona. I didn't have that problem. Fixed an issue that would prevent players from successfully pitting if they qualified in first position at Road America. Again, I didn't run into that, but that sounds very weird. And fix an issue where a pit crew member might be missing their equipment. I hope what that is you know, at the start of every pit sequence, there's someone going like this. at the front, like they're trying to like roll something in like a hose or something. That's what I hope that is. In career, added a feature that will apply improved performance to the player car if they sign a contract with a higher rated team. So this doesn't apply to my career because I'm in a Rick Ware Racing trash box. I'm literally the worst team, or with the worst team in the series. I don't really know how this is gonna work. So I do want performance related cars. So like if you're in a Hendrick Motorsports car, you're really good. If you're in a Rick Ware Racing car, you're really bad. I don't think it changes anything for me. I'm still gonna be bad. But let's say you went into a higher team. I don't know if they speed up your car or what. I'm not gonna be able to test this because I'm not gonna start a new career and then like sign with Hendrick Motorsports. I'm just not gonna do that. So yeah, I don't really know what that means really there. But I think instead of this, I really want them to like, it's very hard to change difficulty to like where you want it to be. So I think they should just really like give, I don't know if they can, but if you can give each team like the lesser teams, just give them less horsepower or something to make them slower. It would I don't know. It's a deep-rooted issue that I don't think they can change in this game. They're gonna have to change in future games. I don't see how they can fix it essentially. Because right now, essentially in career, every car is the same, except now apparently if you the player car gets to a higher rated team, then the car will play or perform better. I'm not really sure about that. So fixing the issue that was causing players to start in the wrong position when simulating qualifying. That was an issue, yes. Fixed an issue that would place the player first on the grid when choosing to qualify last. I've never tried it, so I wouldn't know about that. Fixed an issue that would cause the player to be placed 40th on the grid at road courses regardless of where they qualified. Yeah, I qualified on pole and started on pole sometimes. Fixed an issue that could cause the game to crash after completing 3 seasons. Well, yeah, that's a problem, so fix that. Multiplayer, we're going to talk about this a lot as well. Added a confirmation prompt when exiting an online party. Adjusted cars that are adjusted when cars are ghosted in online play. Fix an issue that would cause the driving line assist to be displayed when it is disabled. Fix an issue that could prevent online races from starting properly. This was a massive problem that I was hearing in the community, is essentially when the race would start, and I would have this problem in single player, is the race would start and it just jerks your car. So I'm hoping that, again, I'm on PC mostly. I'll probably do a few races off camera on PS4 to see if I can test this out, but hopefully this is fixed for you guys so that you could race online better. From what I'm hearing is that the online is actually the strength of this game. Like, racing online is actually not bad, but we'll talk about this. You can't race with who you want yet, so that's still a massive problem. We gotta talk about it. Fix an issue that would prevent cars from ghosting when using novice assist in some circumstances, and fix an issue that's preventing players from ghosting in some situations. So mostly just the coasting and stuff. Replays, fix an issue that could cause a placeholder texture to be displayed. Paint booth, updated custom schemes to clean up the seams between zones. Fix an issue that would cause a soft lock in the paint booth if decals were rapidly added. Fix an issue that was causing gradients to flip in the paint booth. And then in PC only, fix an issue that would cause some paint booth UI elements to appear off screen. Fix an issue that could cause the lighting to flicker in some situations. That has been a problem for me sometimes. Fix an issue that could prevent tire audio from playing. In the settings, fix an issue, a number of related issues to setting dead zones to maximum. Fix an issue that was causing a brief dead state when switching the level of assist. And in the menus, fix an issue that was causing a placeholder online menus, and fix an issue that could cause data pad to go invisible while looking at your crew chief. So that's everything in the patch. Obviously let's talk about the main positive is this. I'll show you guys this tomorrow. And if you play the game, you'll notice this right away. It drives completely differently. Let's talk about what's missing. It's very obvious. Stages, private lobbies, the mirror, and the AI. So we'll touch on it one by one. So stages are still not in the game, which, you know, it's December. It's a officially licensed NASCAR game. There is no excuse for it. They need to add it as soon as possible. I understand why it's not added because, you know, it probably messes with a lot of the coding in the game. But if cautions work now, I mean, you should be... What I'm assuming is that they can't get the AI to work properly under stages. That's my assumption. I think they cannot get the AI to work as they should with stages in the game, which is why they haven't added it. So they haven't told me that, they haven't said that publicly, but just looking at the issues of the game and each individual issue, I have a very strong feeling that's why they're not adding it, because cautions seem to work. You could just throw an automatic caution when the stage ends and then restart everyone. But what I think they're having problems with is they probably can't, because you guys know how there isn't ×2, ×3, ×4 wear and fuel. So because there's no like excessive tire wear, excessive fuel, like you can't change that. You can't technically make stages work in a 25% race. You can only technically make it work in like a 100% race. So in a 25% race where you should pit like at the end of a stage, they probably can't get the AI to pit. That's what I'm assuming why stages are not in the game. It's an AI issue, not really getting the stages in the game issue. No mirror, obviously. So the mirror, the one thing I don't quite understand as to why the mirror is not in the game yet, and I'm speaking specifically for my platform, which is PC, is that on PC we can run at 60 FPS. We can run at 120 FPS. We can run at an uncapped frame rate. You can literally run the frames as high as you want if you want to do it like that. The only reason a mirror would not be in the game is due to a performance reason. It's not because there's a bug with it. It's just performance. You put a mirror in the game, it could drop the frames a lot. So I could understand maybe in the PS4 and the Xbox if they're having frame rate issues as to why the mirror is not in the game. But in PC, I really don't understand, because I'm running the game easily. I have mine locked at 60 FPS because when I record, I need it to be at 60 FPS. If I wasn't recording, I could easily run it at 120 FPS. So I'm not really understanding why there's not an option for a mirror. There needs to be an option. At least for PC, there has to be an option. Private lobbies. This is a massive, just, you can't talk about it enough, because after this, I don't know if we're getting another patch before the holidays. I'm assuming the team probably go on holidays, probably a few days before Christmas. Could they get another patch in the next 2 weeks? They have 2 weeks to do it. I don't think so. So is this how the game's gonna be from now until the new year? Like, because if there's no private lobbies, guys, private lobbies, I can't emphasize this enough. You can't race with your friends. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. You can't do it. If you want to race with your friends, if you want to do league racing, you can't do it. It's the I don't know how else to say it. There is no excuse for not having private lobbies. I would love to race with you guys. I would hop on my PS4 right now and I'd create a private lobby and I'd tell everyone, come on, let's come race. I can't do that. That's why I've made no videos on multiplayer, because I simply cannot invite you guys to race. Patreon members, if I want to do like a secret Patreon race with them, I can't do that. There's no way to do it. So I don't understand. This is the one reason I don't understand. Private lobbies really should just be a server thing. Getting there's not a lot of players in the game anyways. I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I would say even before stages, a mirror and private lobbies, you cannot tell me that that you got to get that in one way or another. That stuff has to come in. I am a little bit annoyed that because I don't know if we're getting another patch before the new year. I'm very annoyed that that's not in. And then let's talk about the final thing, which is the AI. So I said earlier that the driving is completely different, and it is, guys. I cannot emphasize this enough. The driving is so much better. Like, if you just want to drive, it's so much better. But the AI. So the best way I could put this is that the game right now, NASCAR 21 Ignition, its current state, physics-wise, in terms of the driving, it's now the best it's been since the Technics games. It's better than NASCAR Heat, way better. NASCAR Heat does not touch this game now in terms of driving. Road courses, short tracks, even at the speedways, it is way better to drive. But what harms the game is the AI, because the AI is the worst AI that NASCAR games have had in a very long time. It reminds me of the NASCAR 08 to 09 AI, which were also very bad. It's that bad. Yeah, it's to that level. So yes, the driving is incredibly good now. If you told me to just do 10 laps of just testing at Coda, I would have a ton of fun. You can feel when the car slides. The AI still have a ton of issues. For example, at Dover, I'll showcase this tomorrow. At Dover, they'll still put you in the wall. They're still on these like predetermined lines or something. Half the time they will know you're there. The other half of the time they will not know you're there. There's an issue at Watkins Glen this morning. I was at Watkins Glen because I was having a lot of fun at the road courses just driving the car. It's so good to drive. But when you run a race at Watkins Glen, if you guys have the game, go do it. You start at the back. A car will flip every lap. Just watch. Whether it be in the bus stop or the carousel or somewhere else, a car will flip every single lap. They'll like get on two wheels and they'll just start flipping. I don't really know why that's happening, but it happens. So that's the AI are just not good. I don't really know how else to say it. So in my career mode, I'm gonna have a lot of fun driving, but I still have a very strong feeling that the AI are gonna give me a lot of headaches and I'm gonna have a lot of issues with them. The pitting should be fixed, so that's good. But racing around them is still not the best. So when you make contact with them now, the vibration is very strong. So again, like the physics are a lot better on the game now. But I would still say, like, when you collide with the AI, I feel like you as the player don't have the ability to hit them a lot, because if you hit them like even slightly, if you slide up into them, you're the one that gets out of control, not the AI. It's like you really cannot make contact with them. So that my overall thoughts, guys, on this patch, and we'll showcase gameplay tomorrow, is that the driving is so much better. It's such a positive that I can't be mad at them. but they still didn't add a lot of things, and the AI still aren't really changed. They still are very bad. So at this point, I kind of have accepted that this game's never gonna be how I want it to be. Like, I don't see them ever being able to get this game to a point where it's I'm like really happy with it, but I would like to see them at least fix the AI before, you know, because if let's say they don't fix the AI before February, and like they start development on the new game, the entire time I'm just going to be worried about the new game being like, well, are you guys able to get the AI fixed or not? Because if you know, it's just it's a massive issue. If you guys were to ask me what I paid for this game now, I think the price drop is it still like $35? I would still say no, because one of the main reasons I'd say no is because you can't race with your friends. I mean, I think the driving's really good. I think you can have fun in single player if you can overcome the AI stupidity, but you can't play with your friends. So I don't really see how you can. I don't see it as a justifiable purchase. It's so private lobbies, AI, mirror, stuff like that. I can't recommend buying the game yet. Not even at the price drop. I think like $30. You have to be able to race with your friends. It's just that simple. I mean, that's why people play video games. Is you play, you know, sometimes you play it on your own, sometimes you play with your friends. You can't play with your friends, I can't recommend it. So there's a big positive here, still a lot of negatives. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll play the game tomorrow, and I'll actually play it off camera a lot today, but tomorrow we'll upload a video going through the multiple tracks. I'll try to showcase this, which is the controller vibration, because it is just genuinely so much better. But I'll also showcase this, which is the AI still not being very good, and still things that are missing. So again, but I still think the hatred that this game gets is just too much. Like, I go on Twitter and I see the amount of hate. Well, that's Twitter though. There's hate everywhere on Twitter, so I'm not gonna talk about that anyways. But yeah, we'll see how they do. Take care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below. Thank you guys for all the support, and thank you for you know, I guess we're supporting each other getting through this. You know, we all want just a better game, so I'm really hoping they can get private lobbies in eventually. That'd be great, guys. Private lobbies, please. Server, just figure it out. Get private lobbies in. Take care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.